Welcome back to the Chelsea Madness Show, ladies and gentlemen, with me, your host, Jan. Joking, of course, kind of. Welcome back to Football Therapy with me, your host, Jan. Hope you're doing well. I really do hope that, dear sweet viewer/listener. Welcome back to Chelsea News, the daily series, of course, here on Football Therapy, where I reflect on the hot topic of Chelsea Football Club, what's being said, giving you my opinion on it, of course. More importantly, asking for yours, the collective fan opinion. Today, we're talking about hashtag say no to Ricketts. The Chelsea fan base come together collectively and basically try and publicise their opinion, which is no to the Ricketts family. The hashtag no to Ricketts was trending yesterday. You've got Paul Canaville, ex-Chelsea player who sadly endured racist abuse himself, tweeting out against it, joining the campaign. Many journalists who are reporting on the stories were using the hashtag no to Ricketts. And yes, they're trying to respond. What's going to happen with Chelsea? We're going to read an article today. We're going to go through it together. Settle in, get comfortable, strap in tight, subscribe if you want to. Hit the bell if you choose to, and please like the video, either way, even if you don't want to. Put yourself through it. Click like. Thank you very much. We're going to read an article. I had two to choose from. Matt Law from The Telegraph, but I've been doing a lot from him lately. I want to show balance here on Football Therapy, show equality, distribute my reference points. So we're going to read an article from Nizaar Kinsella. Naz writes good articles, well informed, and we're going to reference his piece today. And then we're going to talk about it and go through it as per the norm, as per the custom here on Chelsea News. Hashtag no to Ricketts trends in blow for Chelsea ownership hopefuls who will meet the fans if they get preferred bidder status. So a little update. In terms of preferred bidder status, a decent handful of potential Chelsea owners have put their bids in. Should Rain Group, the American bank who are deciding who goes through next, choose, they then go through another process, I suppose, more closely scrutinised by the UK government, by Chelsea itself. You'd be hoping sort of Chelsea Supporters Trust would be involved with that. And some other stuff. So, and there's like some external bodies as well that have a little ganders over them. So that's where we're at, and if the Ricketts get to that phase, which, by the way, they're like one of the favourites to do so, up there with Todd Bowley and possibly Nick Candy or Centricus or the Broughton Consortium. There's a few knocking about. Anyway, the Ricketts, because they've got this new massive financial muscle, they're not what they used to be. They're becoming like favourites to make it, basically. So let's have a look. The Blues are subject to a number of offers, including one from the owners of Major League Baseball team. The Ricketts family's bid to buy Chelsea suffered a significant blow after supporters turned on them, just as 3 or 4 preferred bidders are set to be decided by the Rain Group. Look, man, if you have the whole fan base against you before you've even gone to the next process, you ain't gonna... this is real poor. The PR, I hate this word, but the optics are so damaging and detrimental that, how are you gonna... You need to get the fans on side as one of your first moves. And if all the fans are against you, boy oh boy, it's tough just as, before it's even started. The US consortium led by Tom Ricketts, the chairman of MLB team Chicago Cubs, with the backing of Citadel founder Ken Griffin, who is reportedly worth £26.6 billion, had some of the highest financial support of any option for the Blues. So the Ricketts family, I don't think they're particularly poor, but they've just been backed by this geezer, Ken Griffin, who's stacking peas, ladies and gentlemen. He's got moolah. He makes bread. He has money. However, I don't know how alleged this is. I think it's pretty nailed on. Alleged Islamophobic emails from his father Joe, which were released in 2019. By the way, not the 40s or 50s, 2019. People should know better. Have served to stall momentum around the bid, along with recent underperformance of the MLB team. So yeah, by the way, this is not just racist remarks. People are worried about the ownership and running of the club. What can Ricketts do? What can they do, ladies and gentlemen? New York investment bank Rain Group are imminently set to decide the preferred bidders alongside Chelsea senior staff. Good, including Marina Granovskaya. Good. Bruce Buck. Eugene Tenenbaum. Look, man, also, things are changing ever so quickly. It's important that I note at this point that should there be a decision or some movement today, which there often is, things change in the middle of the day, I will immediately upload if I'm near my office, which I almost always am. So make sure you're the first to watch it, basically, and you can do that by making sure the bell notifications icon is switched on. And many of you are, I don't want to go on, but many of you are already subscribed and don't have that switched on, and you end up missing videos, and these kind of videos are so topical, you need to get on them quickly. So yeah, with the UK, okay, should Ricketts Group get through, they have plans to meet with the Chelsea Supporters Trust and the Chelsea pitch owners, who are the most influential fan groups. Yeah, well, you got the whole fan base turning on you. It's not unsurprising that they've going to organise these meetings. With the UK government also involved in the process, Ricketts have already had a call with Chelsea and Fulham MP Greg Hand, and he tweeted this: useful call with Tom Ricketts, family owner of Chicago Cubs, bidding for Chelsea FC. Tick, runs a heritage sports stadium. Tick, brought success to the Cubs. Tick, coming to London to meet Chelsea Supporters Trust and pitch owners. Tick, understands communities. I'm happy to meet the other bidders. That was met with a lot of people not happy with that and, dissecting that tweet. They are thought to have a good chance of reaching the next stage despite the backlash, with US bidders expected to get favoured. So despite the backlash with the fans, they're expected to go through to the next stage, the Ricketts. Right, what do people think in Chicago? Ahead of the Chicago Supporters Club, Brian Wolf, who is a Cubs season ticket holder, has caused a stir with comments about the prospective owner. Quote, I've had a unique position in hearing what supporters in supporters in Chicago and worldwide have said about the Ricketts family's bid for Chelsea, he wrote in a statement and posted on Twitter. I can report the vast majority of opinion has been universally disdain. Okay, so there's a tweet there, you can go check it out. So that's from a Cubs fan. I think we've got some quotes here. Quote, the Ricketts family's political donations, fundraising and support for candidates who do not share the inclusive views of Chelsea Football Club, and it's the supporters are wholly inconsistent for 19 years of fantastic work done with the Chelsea Foundation. Most notably, a leader in committing to a living wage and efforts to protect and promote equality for BAME and LGBTQ+ communities. The ownership of Chicago Cubs baseball and redevelopment of Wrigley Field raises serious doubts whether they'd be able to build upon the club's success on the pitch, and also the continued existence of the Chelsea pitch owners, and the goal to keep Chelsea Football Club playing at Stamford Bridge at our forever home. On behalf of countless supporters worldwide, I urge you to reject their bid for ownership of Chelsea Football Club in favour of others who will commit to not only building upon the last 2 decades of investment in players and infrastructure, but equally important, the investment in the supporters and the values we hold dear. Negative, saying, look man, stay back. I've got, my friend Alex Goldberg, who I talk to quite a lot. You probably know his podcast, The Byline. I've been on that a couple of times. He is an American sports fan, obsessed with many American sports. He says loads of people who support Cubs have DM'd him, have messaged him and expressed a great concern about their potential ownership for Chelsea Football Club. I'm not an expert on American sports. Every now and again I watch the Green Bay Packers. That's it. So I really defer to everyone's greater knowledge when it comes to this. Ricketts Response. As a response to Wolf's claims, reads, our family rejects any form of hate in the strongest possible terms. Racism and Islamophobia have no place whatsoever in our society. We have developed deep and abiding partnerships with the Muslim community in Chicago, as well as the communities of colour. Respect for diversity and inclusion are central to our family's views. if we prevail in our bid for Chelsea, we commit to the club and to the fans, and we will actively promote these values. Good PR, eh? Good PR. It's like when you do something, like say you've maybe murdered someone, you're like, we do not believe in murder. We actively won't murder anyone now. It's not good, you know? And let me buy your club. You know what I mean? Look, man, it's the father who sent those emails, right? And yeah, and you know, we have to be sensible about, you know, saying, oh, you all believe this, you know. I know for a fact older generations have, you know, cultivated, you know, disappointing views on things. Look, man, I'm looking at this on the surface. The head honcho, the top of the family, sent those emails. So that is a belief. And that wasn't like a racial slur. That was like a statement of strong, radical, and deeply troubling beliefs. And not just that. You've got this collective of like American sports fans, Cubs fans, baseball fans saying, no, these guys aren't good. And apparently they've dropped down the table massively since winning a World Series. It's a World Series or championship. Oops, again, not American sports fan. And that's just really concerning. If it has to be American, for me, it has to be Todd Boehly and his group in terms of wanting to win. He's been he's been more quiet about going about his business, which is always a bit more positive, isn't it? Not like, pick me and I'll be the greatest man. You know, it just seems like a politician rally, which is not what you want. You want to look at the people that are bidding and go, right, is he getting on the camera or is he like moving like, you know, a bit more quietly? It just seems a little bit more sincere. Yeah, has he built a successful sports franchise before? Like, I think Boehly's involved in not just the he's involved in like the Lakers, not just he's involved in like a lot of teams apparently, and all of them they try and invest to win. I'm not sure he's like not the majority shareholder, the one you've got the biggest share. I forget the phrase, but like yeah, and he wants to win and he wants to compete, and he's wanted to buy Chelsea before. For years he's had plans of what he'd do with Chelsea. I think probably he's the front runner. If we're to get some Americans in, I think it will probably be him. That's where I'm at. But the hashtag No to Ricketts was going around Twitter and I'm assuming other social media like wildfire yesterday, to the point where not just Chelsea fans were doing it as well, because it's not like they're poor owners. They got a lot of money that's backed, but it was about more than that. It was about, yes, the running of the club, but also the Islamophobic comments. And look, man, if you've got that entire fan base saying, you know, no to you, the hashtag trending, surely that's got to damage your campaign. Matt Law was I looking at the side of my face again? Hopefully not, this bloody switcher. Matt Law was tweeting about it as well, saying that this is surely going to damage the campaign, especially when you've got, you know, King Canners tweeting out about it, saying no to Ricketts as well. It's going to be a huge problem for them. But money talks, ladies and gentlemen, and you know, even in this situation where it's like, right, the bidding of Chelsea, it's not highest bidder wins. It's not a conventional auction. Even in this situation, money will talk. If a certain amount of money reaches the right kind of people, or in this instance, the wrong kind of people, then who knows what can happen. Keep it locked, though. I'm going to update you as soon as there's some more information and Rain Group release information on potential owners. Make sure that bell's turned on. See you very soon. Peace.
You ain't so tough with that bad boy tuck. I'ma get it how I'm living, I'ma walk the walk. Outline my lines, I rap through thought. Body bag the verse, outlined in chalk. In my life seen trouble, hustle on the double. Silence on the trigger like my pick got a muzzle. Yo, chick like to guzzle, bad boy stay in trouble. I only love this paper, sorry I don't